D4, pew 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 pew.
That's a great way to intro this thing, guys. So I appreciate it. We are here for the 10th episode of the podcast, and Joel has a new mic, so say hello, Joel.
The big 1-0.
I told you, and if he didn't do this correctly, commenters, rip him to shreds.
Dude, I turned you down.
Don't let him silence.
Okay, you're just getting louder. You're getting worse. You're getting
Yeah,
worse.
I'm using a blue snowball because I dropped my nice microphone in a cup of coffee like an idiot. And blue snowballs don't have compression, or they have limited compression. Don't tell me about the specs of blue snowball. I don't care. Your voice sounds louder when you use a blue snowball versus a mic with compression. So if I'm louder, I'm sorry. I told D4 to turn me down, and he did. So it shouldn't be an issue.
Grab a tissue if it's an issue, Joel. That's all I'm going to say.
I actually do have a runny nose, so.
Well, you better go catch it. Am I right?
Well, you better go catch it.
Dab, 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 dab.
I said dad.
I said dab.
Dad joke. You said dab.
Surprise dab, everyone.
No.
On three.
Ooh,
One,
2, 3,
leave.
dab. All right. But for real, on this episode of the podcast, we have some amazing topics, and I'll throw them on you when we get there. But I will say we have Shadow here today, we have Sidearms, and we have Joel. I think D20 should be joining us shortly. I wouldn't be surprised if Jehovah and Speedy, they are currently playing a game right now. If they come up into our TeamSpeak, then that could be a thing as well. Today, first topic we'll talk about is, of course, Joel's microphone. But other than that, we're going to talk about anime a little bit. And now a lot of you are like, why are you talking about anime?
I'm kidding.
I'm not kidding. I want to talk about it. I want to talk about anime as far as...
I think you have some interesting points, Shadow, like as far as you can't enjoy normal things because you're weird and you like anime.
Okay, here's the thing with anime. Anime now is so much more mainstream. Like, you can take, I would say even 10 years ago, you ask people what is anime, and there would be like almost no one. But Japanese music, anime, there's a lot of those pop groups that are popping up still that is that kind of genre culture. And I don't know, it's all mainstream now. It seems to be like you're not necessarily a nerd if you like that kind of stuff anymore.
I think anime, I think it's become more of a meme now than anything. Yes, to your point, where I think just everybody's become a bit more accepting of other people's likes and everything, especially in this day and age. To that point, like, yeah, I think you're right. But also, I think just anime, it has more attention to it because it's a meme now. Like, there's there's
illegal anime.
There's the classic. Like, I've gotten this GIF/picture tweeted at me 50 times of Trump signing the executive order. The anime is now illegal.
Yeah.
Like, had like 3 people responding to my tweet. Said like, look, I know anime is illegal now, but you should watch this one anyway. It's worth the prison time. And everyone's like, oh my god, you saw my tweet. I'm like, yeah, you and the 50 other people who sent me this. But yeah, it's good shit. Y'all should watch it.
I will say, as a subscriber and a frequent browser of r/meme economy, anime-related memes always have good returns on investments. If you are new to the meme market, if you want to get into the meme economy and purchase stocks, I always recommend a diversified portfolio with at least a little bit of anime memes, because anime memes always have great returns. So,
Joe, what's the number one anime meme right now? Like, what's funny about it?
No. I mean, since it's just a meme, we don't get into the specific animes, because if you start getting into specific anime memes, then you're not really like going to a diversified market. Like, that's not a product that you can push onto the general public. But you can push the idea that anime is for losers onto the general public.
Okay.
That may or may not be true, but that is the is the value of the meme. So just saying, like, making anime illegal or making jokes about anime, it's like what's something that's constantly knocked, or like the New York Jets or like the Cleveland Browns, like something. At least it's not Cleveland, or at least we're not Detroit, or like something that you can always just be like, yeah, let's give anime another punch, even though anime, it's good.
Is dank.
Yeah, dank or whatever. I don't really consume it, but a lot of people like it, and I respect that. I'm just speaking from a pure memeonomics perspective that anime memes are, as Shadow said, the thing right now.
I'm open to it. Like I really am open to watching anime. I will give it a try. I'm not anti it, but I'm really not. Okay, so a small form of it is Pokemon. That is anime. And I know, like, the hardcore weebs are like, oh my god, that's not anime. Real anime is blah, blah,
No
blah, blah.
hardcore weeb is calling Pokemon not an anime. Hardcore weebs are watching it in the original Japanese sub, okay? That's something I can't do.
So, like, do you go to, like, Crunchyroll and all that stuff? Is that the place, Shall? Like, inform me on... Yeah, is that right? Like, I feel like an old man about anime. I'm an old man. So, tell me the happening spot for anime. Shadow, enlighten me on the anime scene.
Like, I go along with the weeb joke, but just because you watch anime, it doesn't make you a weeb. You're a weeb if you think that you're like a Japanese person and you're not, and you're trying to speak Japanese, but like only 3 of the words you speak are actually Japanese, and you actually say hi to people saying konnichiwa instead of hello. Like,
Konnichiwa.
those are the weebs.
You just assume my culture.
What if they're actually Japanese, Shadow, and they just can't separate English from Japanese?
I don't know.
I know it brings this up, but when YouTube like first started, there was this girl, and I don't know the name of her. I don't know anything.
Boxy, right?
No, it's not Boxy, but it was before her. But there was a...
Boxy?
Shut the fuck up, please. I'm trying to finish the story. Jesus Christ, son. All right, so there was this girl, and she would come up on the front page. They would pick her videos to be like the focal point YouTube when they actually used to feature real featured videos instead of random ass shit. But anyways, so they did, and she... I don't know why when you said that, Joel, you said, konnichiwa. That's all she did. She said one word at the beginning of her video, and she stared into the camera the rest of the video.
Wait, are you talking about... I don't know if I should
I don't
say
know.
her name. Hannah Minks? Is that who you're talking
No,
about?
no. It's not Hannah Minks. It's not Hannah Minks. It's way before that. It's like when YouTube like first started. Not joking. So and I just remember this little girl. She would say konnichiwa, and then she would like literally stare at the camera the whole time. And it would drive people. Oh, of course. Oh yeah, I forgot that was a thing. Holy shit. But people would go nuts. You were either I love the shit out of this girl, or like, what the fuck is she doing? She has mental issues. But people were obsessed with watching her videos. It was kind of like Poppy a little bit, Joel. Like how she has like a cult following. That was the same thing. That was the same thing back in the day with this girl. They would feature her on the homepage, and she would just say konnichiwa, and then she'd stare at the computer or screen or whatever, the camera. But it was really the camera. But it was weird, and that just reminded me of it. I don't know why. Shadow, give me some anime that people might want to check out if they're just now getting into anime. Give me the rundown.
The fuck?
Come on, man. I need
do this, man. That's too much pressure, dude.
It's not. Just give me a couple that you're watching, man. That's all I need in my life.
That I'm watching. Well, I mean,
I'm
a bit of an expert, so I don't think the noobs are gonna be able to appreciate my exquisite taste.
Come on, give it to us.
I'm a bit of a connoisseur.
You put the cut in connoisseur. Okay, let's go.
But no, I guess fucking one I just finished. It's called 91 Days. It has to deal with like the mafia and shit. That's pretty cool. If you like the Godfather, you'll probably like that.
Like, is it like a season, 2 seasons? Are we talking 17 episodes? What are we talking?
12 episode thing.
How much is the episode? An hour? What?
Yeah.
20-minute episode. I mean,
Oh, that's not bad.
Like, yeah, like anime, a lot of it doesn't have to take up like a lot of your time. You don't have to commit to it. Like, these shows like Walking Dead and Breaking Bad have like 19 seasons and like they're hour-long episodes, and it's just like, it's a bit much.
Is Naruto the longest running anime, Shadow? Or is that like something else?
I think you're just biased.
Do you think anime doesn't take up a lot of your time because people who watch it have to spend the rest of their time fucking bitches? So they don't have a lot of time to just
Okay,
watch anime.
Okay, this guy just
So they
derailed
just,
it.
they just gotta
yeah.
go out and slam it. Just,
Well, I mean,
because they don't have a lot of time to just sit in the house when they have so many fair maidens
unfortunately,
want to smash.
if you watch
Smash.
anime, you realize that 2D girls are better than 3D girls. And unfortunately, you can't smash the 2D girls, so we're not going to waste our time.
My wife has C cups, but I still love her a lot. So I don't know what that was all about.
What?
What are we talking about?
Are you being
Did you guys hear what he said?
breastist? He's being breastist.
Yeah, he's married. We get it, side. We get it,
Whoa,
man.
whoa, whoa, whoa.
What?
When?
We get
You're
it.
the
Are you-
one,
are
you're
you
the one
joking?
assuming that bobs have anything to do with it.
I'm
Some
2D
people
girls.
Like, some
Shut
people
up.
like the lollies.
Shadow, what
Can we change topics? I'm
No, hold on,
really
hold
upset.
on.
I said I wanted a time
What?
limit on this topic.
you're you're the one who brought up your fucking wife's tits. What do you want me to do?
Oh, what's this called transition?
What?
No, you have no viewers on this podcast. Right
I
now.
just
We can
I
say
just
anything.
wanna say, when I tweeted anime, can you like can you put some production value into this video and like
No.
put my tweet into this
I can.
for the people what I mean
If you'll
I guess
link
you're
it, I'll
supposed
put it in there
to- I guess
on
you're
screen.
supposed to- I guess you're supposed to listen, so you're not going to see. But I tweeted.
We're 10 minutes in. I got this.
D4 tweeted. Fucking.
I was going to transition to that, but keep going.
podcast topics.
No. Before that, before you get to this point, let me bring up this to transition to our next point, so you can make your point, and then we can move on.
Away from being made.
Yeah, be quiet. So I tweeted out the other day, what are your celebrity crushes? And Shadow tweeted me 4 anime characters. And can you go ahead and explain who those were or what's going on with that whole thing, and then finish your topic?
Well, the first one was Iwasawa, who is the best waifu of all time.
And what's give me some background here. Jesus Christ.
What is a wife?
She's a guitar. She's she's a guitarist and a singer. And
Is that your number one?
that's number one waifu. Right.
All right, give me. Was that a picture of all? I can't tell the difference between them all. I know it's kind of and a racist.
Hair colors. What the fuck?
Oh, girls can't change their hair color? What the fuck is this?
Oh my god.
Okay, next one. Give me the next one.
The second one was a girl who was just absolutely obsessed with executing people, so that's a turn on.
You're sick, Shadow.
And the third one had a very, very just amazing sense of justice. Like, whether you murder somebody or you run a stop sign, like, you're evil and you need to die on the spot. So that was also that was also very, very appealing to me. And then the fourth one, honestly, that was just filler girl. Like, it wasn't really.
You just need to fill out the whole tweet. Is that what you need? The fourth girl?
that was the fourth girl. Sorry, Wendy.
And what was the point you were trying to make a while ago, Shadow?
I don't fucking know. Oh, no.
Oh, like anime doesn't take a lot of your time, is what you're saying, unless you're talking about something else.
I tweeted. Deluxe was asking for podcast topics, and I tweeted as a joke anime, and then I even said, "I'm not Shadow Beats. I'm a fan who hacked this account." And so I was.
Joel, I need you to
kidding.
calm down.
Heavy breathing intensifies.
Dude, this is why people say you breathe too much when you talk. It's because you have this damn snowball that takes in all sound around it.
He breathes
I'm like
too much.
breathing
Period.
normal.
No,
No,
it's when you get close to the mic, or like whenever things get really intense. Like I was playing Pokemon with Shadow, and I get closer to my screen, so it's easier to pick up. And like I'm trying to think. Let me say something really quick. I'm no weeb. I've watched a couple animes in my life. My favorite one is Naruto. I think that's the best show that'll ever come out. By the way.
That's the only one you do watch.
Yeah. No. Well, yeah. It's. I stopped watching it now because it's over. But, you know, Yu-Gi-Oh is an anime, and so is Pokemon, and I watched those. Yu-Gi-Oh, I only liked it until you guys won't know what this is, but until like the Pharaoh's season was over, like his time was over, and everything else was All right, thanks, Joel.
Joel's just got nothing to say.
But yeah, Shadow, I wanted to ask you, what's like the longest like an anime has been?
I don't know.
You're supposed to know these things, man.
Why am I
fucking
supposed to know?
weeb?
You know what else knows? Google.
No thanks.
Or Bing.
No
Or
thanks.
Ask Jeeves.
No one uses Ask Jeeves anymore. Jesus Christ. All right. That kind of transitions to our next point. Joel, I'll help you out here, buddy. I'll fish you a line.
Joel watched anime too. He watched the worst one out of all of us. I can't say the same for Shadow, but he watched Sailor Moon and something else. Like,
I used to stay at my cousin's house because I like my cousin, and she was a huge Sailor Moon fan.
Hey,
So
she
we
had
watched
huge-
Sailor Moon there.
So you've been watching anime this whole damn time. What the fuck?
yeah,
When
know.
I was like 11 years old, and I think I've seen 5 episodes.
Oh my god. I thought I had
Yeah,
a real
it's a
friend.
Real TV shows.
Are you
where
kidding me,
grown-ups
Dick?
play
Dick?
or pretend.
Did you call me Dick?
Dick 4? That's what it stands for, right? So I mentioned that that's the only anime I've seen, and side is extrapolating that. To mean that I watch anime on the regs when I've seen 5 episodes.
I've watched
of the
anime
show,
on the regs.
and I think it. Is there a better theme song for an anime show than the Sailor Moon theme song?
Yeah.
Probably not. No, probably not.
Probably not.
As
Probably
a
not.
non-expert, I would say.
As a non-expert.
Something by moonlight. I don't
In
even
5
remember it.
minutes.
By daylight.
Oh, please stop.
Dead by Daylight. Wow.
Wow, wow, wow,
It's
wow.
honestly like the quicksand of the topics. Like I feel like
quicksand.
we can't even escape it.
All right, I will transition out of it right now.
Horizon. Yeah.
Right now, I'm transitioning. Okay, so I tweeted my celebrity crushes, and I'll start with my celebrity crushes because that's why Shadow kind of tweeted at me with the whole anime stuff. But I tweeted out that I really liked Emma Stone and Katy Perry. So Emma Stone was a big deal. Last night we got into play CSGO, and our friend B-Dubs, I'm kind of happy he's not here because he would just rag Emma Stone right now. He doesn't like Emma Stone for whatever reason. I'll let him explain if he ever has time because I don't know exactly what his prejudice against her is. But I like Emma Stone. She seems like she's a down-to-earth kind of person. I feel like you could talk to her one-on-one, and I feel like she would be normal. Like she wouldn't be crazy, or she wouldn't try to be just off the chains on one certain thing. Now, do I think that she lives like a celebrity and that she's very privileged and stuff like that? Yeah, I think that's the thing, but I still feel like that she has some qualities that I could get along with. I would compare her to Taylor Swift a little bit, but I think Taylor Swift's a little crazy. So Taylor Swift would be the opposite of Emma Stone, where she would fucking try to write a song and try to do something crazy just to do it because she's crazy like that. And my other one was Katy Perry. I just, to be honest, I like the appearance of Katy Perry. She has a lot of qualities that I like. And
2 qualities that I really like.
yeah, you betcha, bud. But yeah, Katy Perry, and she's done, and you feel like with Katy Perry that you have a chance because she used to date, and she was married to Russell Brand. So like you're like, I have a chance. All I have to do is be funny. I have a chance with her. But I don't know. Those were my 2 celebrity crushes, and I have a couple others, but not to the level. They're like A1 and A2. So yeah. What about you, Shadow, Side, or Joel? Who were your celebrity crushes?
Number 1,
think.
shut up, Side.
Okay.
Forever and all.
Yes.
Now, you know what? Side never goes first with any of these things. So you know what, Side? You have the floor.
Thanks, man. I'm gonna divert to you though. So thanks.
The fuck?
I was gonna say I think Joel should go first, but that's just because his mic was fucking up. So I just wanted to try to raise the pressure.
Breathing hard
Just
again.
hilarious.
Why
I
do we-
want my Audio Technica back.
Why do we let this guy in?
I can go first here. So, Scarlett Johansson is probably my number 1. She's
What,
in all
just
the
there-
movies I love.
There's something in common with all the girls you're gonna hear, by the way. Let's see if you can pick it up.
Let's see if we can pick it up. What Shada's talking about is that Scarlett Johansson has, large breasts, I'd say. So that's the joke he's trying to make. But let's don't listen to him. Just listen to what I'm saying, okay? So she's in all the movies I love, and I think that's pretty much where it stops. Right there is what we have in common. Yeah, that's it. She probably wasn't raised the same way I was, but I do think that she knows the same amount about the superheroes as I do, because I don't know anything about the comics or anything. I just watch the movies, and that's all she knows. Not that I have a chance with her, but you know, she's pretty, if you catch my drift. My number 2, I'd say, is Jennifer Lawrence. I think she's very she's still
I really like her
human.
too.
Like she's not stuck up or anything.
She's a little crazy. Like as far as funny crazy, like I think she would do something crazy to get like arrested.
And she's really funny. So
yeah,
that's why I like them. But,
I like her too. She's good.
If we're going with the theme of picking a 1 and a 2. Also, well, Katy Perry is up
Hey,
there too.
wasn't nice. Wasn't Jennifer Lawrence play like some superhero of some sort? Wasn't she?
She's Mystique in X-Men.
That's it. Yeah, there you go.
I'm not a fan of X-Men.
Okay.
So yeah, go ahead, Jill.
I do really like X-Men.
Okay, so I need you to cut this out, Deluxe. Say, I do really like men. This is what Jill just said.
I do really like men.
Man.
There, I fixed it.
Thanks for saving Deluxe some work.
Yeah,
Thanks,
I
man.
don't want Deluxe to have to do too much editing. But I don't really. I feel like I like Emma
I'm
Stone
married.
too.
Oh, okay, good. Okay, good. I thought you were gonna cop out. Cop
The
out.
smash or pass
You
cop
can't
out.
just- You're gonna need to calm down, Jill.
I've just always I've never really engaged in this conversation because I don't like. I don't see celebrities as attainable people or like very extremely relatable. So I don't ever really think about that. I've said that before. Like I don't really masturbate to celebrities ever because I never think because there has to be some realism to my masturbation. So I never think to myself, oh, I'm going to see Jennifer Lawrence at my local Starbucks and then we'll just hit it off and then
and then fuck in the bathroom.
So you can't like a celebrity unless you can jerk off to them, Jill. You can't just like a celebrity for their work or their talent. You have to base it on looks. You have to base
the
it.
most talented celebrity or our celebrity crush. I'm really
Is
confused
this-
as to what we're talking
Okay,
about.
all right.
I guess. Okay, well then let me take it back and say I don't think I'll ever meet any of these people. So I don't know if I like Emma Stone. Like I said, like D4 already said, I think she's pretty cool. And I'm sure there's many better suggestions.
La La Land bumped it up even more for me though. By the way, Joel.
Yeah, I think that's gonna win Best Picture. I really like La La Land, and I want to watch it again. Just the music is so beautiful.
Pretty
So
good.
times.
Pretty good.
What's that movie about? Is it like a romance thing?
I can't explain it. It's actually got a good twist to it. It's a different ending. I'm not gonna ruin it for everybody, but it's a better ending. And more movies should end like this because it's real.
Oh, spoilers.
It
has an
it's a
ending.
musical,
And ends, yeah.
it's a musical about two people pursuing creative passions in Los Angeles, and yeah, I guess that'd be like the shortest synopsis.
Yeah, hey, that's pretty good.
Musicians. Ugh.
No, right. Ugh.
Well, one's a musician.
Yeah, we don't know any musicians, so we can't really.
D1, you
D1
would
of Aqualive, yeah.
Sure. I've had him on this
Going out for
podcast.
dinner with him.
Nice. What about you, Shadow? Who's your celebrity crush?
Number 1, forever and always, will be Bailey Williams.
Who is
Paramore.
that? You can tell the Paramore. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Haley Williams.
Haley, yeah.
Paramore.
I think
She
it's Bailey.
will always be number 1.
Cause I got it what I wanted now.
No.
Yeah, Misery Business was written for me,
Of course.
and so is Crush.
Two, three, four.
Just in case you
Is
guys
it
didn't know.
Misery Business a negative song about a man? Or am I
No.
remembering
No.
incorrectly?
You're remembering it correct. Misery Business.
Let me read the
is-
lyrics.
Haley
Where she
Williams
steals
is
a
this
boy.
young girl who steals a boy from another girl who's a complete bitch and mistreats him, and then Haley Williams treats him right.
Huh.
Noob. And then number 2 is Carrie Byron from MythBusters, because
Oh yeah.
Because she looks like the Paramore lead singer. They look like they're like celebrity doppelgangers of each other. Haley Williams.
Okay.
Do you like the red hair of both of them?
Uh,
I have a thing for redheads. Maybe.
But yeah, like Carrie Byron is smart as fuck, or at least, I mean, I guess I don't know for sure. Like, I don't think that you can get on MythBusters just being a dumb
Random.
bitch. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like you'd be exposed. So I think it's pretty safe to say that Carrie Byron is pretty freaking smart. And she's beautiful. And I know she was probably toe up by Tori Belleci, but I mean, it's it's fine. It's fine. I mean, I wasn't gonna fill anything up anyway, so hopefully she can look past that. But I am kind of with Joel, where like I don't really put a lot of thought into this because it's like
So unlikely.
it's not ever going to happen. Like it's impossible. Like it's not going to happen.
Yeah, I saw like a Yahoo article a couple months ago. It's talking about the celebrities that have actually married their fans, and there was only like that the ones that I knew, there were only like 10 of them that actually married people that weren't other celebrities. There were people either from their childhood, or they were people from like a manager or something like that. That was like the closest that people were.
Oh, easy. I'll become a manager.
Easy. So yeah, it's not really likely. All right. So there's our celebrity crushes, if you ever wanted to know that. I did put that question out on Twitter and asked what topics that people wanted to hear from. And I'm really interested in this one because this was a good one. Funlow asked how your actual parents disciplined you as a child. And I'll let you go side first.
No, I went first last time. Sorry.
I'm going to let you go side. How do your parents discipline you? Have you ever gotten in trouble? Have you ever did anything crazy? Is there a story behind where you got pissed off your dad or your mom really, really bad, and then they've went ahead and grounded you? Do they use a belt? What's the discipline in your household?
Yeah, I mean, I was beat as a kid.
Were you? Is it the belt or a paddle? What are we talking?
The belt.
The belt?
Yeah, I remember being scared of the belt. No, I'm only joking a little bit, but I mean, I didn't have any problems because I wasn't a crazy kid. Like, I wouldn't go out and smoke the koosh with my kindergarten friends, but as long as my parents just mainly wanted me to get good grades, and I did that, and I stayed out of trouble, and I didn't do anything crazy as far as get into fights at school or anything like that. So really, there was nothing for me to get in trouble for. That's so stupid. Why would you?
You don't have a story where you fucked up big time, you wrecked your dad's car and he told you to back out of the driveway or anything crazy like that?
No.
Nothing? You were you're the perfect child.
I mean, I'm sure I did. I didn't crash my dad's car, I'll tell you. But I've never been in an accident.
Really?
So I mean, I don't know, man. What do you want me to say?
I know. I just didn't know if you
up for the podcast.
No. I really thought you might have something where you actually did something bad. But if you're a perfect child, then I can't say anything, man. For me, I was deathly afraid of my dad. I did not want him to beat me with a belt. In my house, it was. You were grounded first from electronics going outside, because that was a thing when I was a child where you could ground people from going outside, and it was a big deal. Nowadays, fucking ground them from going outside. It's whatever, it's fucking whatever.
I'm still grounded.
All right.
To go outside.
So grounded me from outside. They would always give me an option. You could take either 2 licks with the belt, which if my dad did it, it was that super hot fire, and you couldn't even feel your ass for 2 days. And if it was, then they would say, or you can be grounded for 2 weeks. And my parents, now looking back at it, I know they were just oh, we got him, because they just keep me inside and make me do chores and shit, and then it would just be whatever. But yeah, I was definitely afraid of my dad's belt. And I remember when I was around 10 or 11, my cousin came over, and we kind of lived out in the country a little bit, and we lived on actually a dirt road. And the next house to us was probably half a mile down the road. And
did you live on a dirt road or by a dirt road?
Well, like, not literally live on the dirt, you piece of shit. Okay, so, anyways, my cousin came over. We did stupid games in the front yard. Like, we'd punt the football up straight up in the air and see who could catch it. If you missed it, then you got, like, hit in the arm or something, or you got, I don't know, or we get the one free throw at you and get to hit you or whatever, kind of like dodgeball. So we were doing stupid stuff, and then we thought it would be cool if we walked up to the neighbor's house and just kind of, just did a little adventuring, because there's woods all over the place, right? So we go up to the neighbor's house, and no one's home. It was an older woman, and I think she had a older son that kind of lived with her as well, and they had a clubhouse in the front yard that was for her, like, grandkids and stuff, I guess, from another child that she had, but they just built it. This was like right after Christmas time. This is probably January-ish. And they just built it. It was like painted, like camouflage. They put like windows in it. There was a ladder on each side to go up, and it was like freaking awesome. They even insulated it. And so me and my cousin thought we were going to be fucking cool. So he had the great idea. He was going to get a rock from the dirt road, and he was going to throw it and try to hit the treehouse or clubhouse, whatever it was, and he fucking hit it all right. He broke the window, and instead of stopping or running away, we were fucking idiots, and we decided that we were going to bust out every fucking window. So we then made it a game of throw and catch, where we were going to throw and the house was going to catch the fucking rock. So
Holy shit, dude.
We busted out every single window of that clubhouse, and then instead of just busting out windows, we just said, oh, fuck it, we're going to go inside and really fuck up some shit. So we climb up to the top. The door is unlocked.
Dude, why'd you go to jail? Like, is that the end of the story? You went to jail?
No, it's not. Let me finish. So we go up to the top, and my cousin, he was a little, like, what he did, I would just follow. I was a follower at the time. And so if he broke a window, I'm going to break a window to be cool too, because I wanted him, he was like 2 years older than me. And so he fucking put his foot through part of the wall. The wall was like a double wall. It had insulation in between. So it was one of those like really thin wooden walls, almost like it's a really thin plywood. And so he put his foot through it, and it came through, but he had like some insulation kind of come through it. If you don't know what insulation is, basically it's made out of little bitty pieces of like fiberglass. And it insulates and keeps something warm. And your house usually has, some insulation in between it anyways, and your attic probably has some different kind of insulation as well. But this kind was the pink kind, if you've ever been around insulation, and if you ever got that stuff on you, it itched like a motherfucker. Mm-hmm. So we thought we were going to be cool. He saw that go through, and we started just like fucking taking the insulation out of the wall. We started ripping the wall open and throwing the insulation everywhere. And we do that shit, and then we start heading home. After we'd destroyed the piece of shit, like, it's a piece of shit now. That's what I meant. It was awesome before, but now it's a piece of shit. So we're walking home, and we start itching. We're like, fuck, this fucking itches. So we get home. My dad's like, where you guys been? And we're like, oh, we just been on an adventure. That's why we look, like we were fucking sweating.
Adventure.
Yeah, we went on an adventure. But anyways, so he's like, where do y'all been? And we're like, we told him some bullshit story. We go inside the house, and we're like, we're about to jump in the shower. Well, the woman gets home. She sees what had happened, and she assumed that it was us anyways. So she drives down to our house. She knocks on the door and just asks, hey, do you know if the kids have been up to my house? The treehouse is really messed up, blah, 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 or clubhouse. And my dad's like, okay, boys, come here. Did y'all do this? And at first, I'm going to lie. I'm like, what are you talking about? My cousin... He's lying, okay? And then he like, separates us, and he asks us questions. And, of course, he breaks down and tries to tell on me. He said it was all my fault. And I was like, bitch, it was all his fault. And so, basically, my dad didn't let us take a shower to get all the insulation off of Itchy. He ended up paying for the clubhouse. She didn't press charges or anything. He kind of blamed it on the boys will be boys. But that's the craziest, probably, most destruction I've ever caused on anything. And I got an ass whooping from hell. And that kind of where it set, where I didn't want to do anything to fuck up where my dad would have to beat me again. So I don't think I took another ass whooping the rest of my life from my dad after that point.
You asked me if I was a perfect kid. No, our standards must be different.
Yeah, did you commit any crimes?
Yeah.
Like,
Did you
really
vandalize property?
Yeah.
No.
But yeah, that's what happened to me. That's what I did as a kid. I was dumb, but that was the only thing I did that where I can think that was fucking nuts and got beat by a belt. What about you guys, Shadow or Joel? Did y'all have the belt, or y'all like, no, don't do that again, or what?
That's more of a southern thing, I think.
What? That
People
a belt?
around here-
People
Yeah,
in
people-
civilization don't do that.
Yeah, not in civilized northern society. I mean, I'm sure that happens for people around here, but I
They're
just
probably
did not
from the
hear. Well, I do not know anyone in my life that that had like a belt punishment. I could think of maybe like one person, but
Really?
like any of my friends, anyone that I went to school with, yeah, I don't.
No
I've
wonder
never
y'all
heard
are
of that
such a
happening.
pussy.
Yeah.
Hey, Siri, who won the Civil War?
Abraham Lincoln by him goddamn so.
Abraham Lincoln's Northerners. Dude. No, my dad was like, my dad is a large man. Like, he's not overweight. He's he weighs less.
I've
than
seen your
I
dad.
think right now,
He's a
but
good.
yeah.
He's a nice build for a tall guy like that. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a tall.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's a tall, pretty built guy. He exercises a lot. So, and he has a really deep voice. So I was always intimidated by him, and I was kind of like side. Honestly, I didn't really do a lot of bad stuff. I had some friends that like they lived in the city kind of, and they wanted to mess around a little bit more. There's like, you can get into more trouble in the city, and my parents have always kind of lived in the country, so there's like less ways to get in trouble in the country. We'd like throw apples at each other, like do country things that aren't illegal. But I mean, my friends would like
Stolen property.
Yeah, break into like a train station before or stuff like that. That was kind of like a thing that I know someone got arrested for. Out of my there was an older group of friends, but I can't. I was like racking my brain to think of a time where I really got in trouble. I remember my dad having to be held back from me one time by my mom, but I don't remember what I did. So I have like the world's worst memory. So for topics like this, I'm not great, but. And I never had any like physical punishment. The most that's happened is I've gotten. Well, it's funny because we don't talk about phones getting taken away because we didn't really have phones when we were all younger. Side, I guess, is the closest to his youth. But like I didn't have a phone really until I was in high school. But I've had my phone. I guess I had my phone taken away at some points in high school. And then I would just, I don't know, I was told to sit in my room quietly, or something, and like yelled at by my dad usually. But other than that, I didn't really have any. I feel like I'm really boring for this topic.
No,
Like-
I'm the same way. Like I was never. My parents never really disciplined me. Like I think it was partially because I was a relatively good kid. Like the worst trouble that I ever got in was
Watching too much anime.
no. The worst trouble that I ever got in was there were some neighborhood kids that were like 2 grades above me that like I always hung out with, and he got me into wrestling. And so one day like he convinced like my brother and I to go out with like 4 or 5 of the other guys from the neighborhood, and we just went around and we did the DX suck it.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
man,
to
I used to love it.
Yeah, and like I got in trouble for that, but like the discipline for that, and this worked for me. My mom was always just like, really, like this is what you do, and just like kind of just like demean and like belittle me, and it's just like, yeah, I was fucking stupid. Like, why did I do that? Like that was. I would always hate it when, like, even now, like, when I do something that's just, like, straight up juvenile and, like, a lot, just something that somebody my age shouldn't be doing, I just, like, that's the worst. And, like, when my mom or my dad was just, like, really? Like, I mean, granted, at the time I was, like, 12, but she's like, really? Like, you're doing this? Like, you're not 6 anymore. And then you're like, oh, fuck, you're right. But yeah, like, as far as discipline goes, like, I didn't really get into too much trouble. But even then, my mom was not very strict, like, at all.
Was she very laid back, and is that why you
Yes.
think you're kind of laid back as well?
I think that's a big part of it.
Yeah.
Like, a part of me kind of wishes she was more strict, because I developed a whole lot of bad habits as far as not being disciplined goes. Just because, like, I was never, like, I never had those boundaries set. My mom was always like, oh, you know, you should probably do your homework, but I mean, you're only a kid once. Enjoy your childhood. Like, school sucks. So I really think you should do your homework, but I mean, if you don't want to, then I mean, I guess, like, you know, just do what you want. And
Shout
like,
out.
as long as grades never.
I was like really similar. Like, I'm gonna be on my kids more about grades because I was like really bad with my grades and I should have done a lot better.
Well, that was the thing. Like, if grades became a problem, then she would kind of step in. But for me, because my school, like, homework was, we had a weighted system, so homework was only 10%. So, like, my grades didn't really suffer because I was such a good test taker. So I mean, I didn't have to, because of the environment I was brought up in. Like, I never had to learn that discipline. I never had to learn that, oh shit, like, I really want to play Super Smash Bros, but I should do homework. Ah, fuck it, I'll do Super Smash Bros. Like, my mom's not gonna force me to do it, so it's whatever. So, like, I don't regret, or I don't, like, hold anything against her. Like, I think because of her, I'm able to be, like, the sort of laid back person that I am today. Like, I can sit and just be calm and sit through things and, like, not take anything too seriously, not stress out just because of that. But I think a side effect of that is my lack of discipline and lack of motivation in just about everything I do, including YouTube.
Here's the thing though too, Shadow. Here's a couple of things I observed. Like, you're very laid back. Your mom kind of lets you do as you please, but you really never got in trouble in school. Like, from what I've learned about you, you weren't like a big druggie. You never went out and did anything crazy, which is really good. Like, you beat the odds on that part.
That's his but that's his, like, I believe in the, like, nature and nurture thing. It's a combination of both. I mean, my parents weren't very strict, and I was always, like, kind of the goody two-shoes of my brother and sister. And my brother and sister certainly, I guess I would say, experimented a lot more, or tested my parents a lot more than I ever have. Still to this day, I mean, they're in their early 20s now, or almost mid-20s, so it's like a lot less now. My parents don't really have to parent anymore, but just to throw them under the bus a little bit, I know they always had to worry a little bit more about them than they did for me. At least once I got past the age of 19, I was pretty much good on the parenting. And I mean, that makes me sound like a shitty brother, but like, I feel like it can work in some instances for some like, what works for some personality types doesn't work for other personality types. I mean, clearly what your parents did, D4, did not work because you're a fucking sociopath. So, I mean, I wish they would have tried a different approach so they didn't raise us such a fucking criminal. But, you know, it's different approaches for different folkses.
I'm very intrigued with this. Me being from the South, how many people listening to the podcast right now had similar upbringings where a belt was introduced and there was kind of like a fear factor there, and the actual punishment. Now, even in schools here in the South where I'm from, we had that was the thing. You could get you could get paddled. That was the thing. You could get paddled if your parents gave consent. It's not much of a thing anymore in schools, I believe, but back when I was in school, and I guess all of us were in school, during that time period, you could get paddled. Now, I was a goody two-shoes in school all the way around. Like, I never got sent to the principal's office, and I never got in trouble at all. One time, I got called to the principal's office when I was in 11th grade, and he was our assistant principal, and he was like, "Do you know why you're here?" And I'm like, "No, sir, I don't. Did I do something? Like, I can't think of anything that I've done." And he was like, "No, here's your Letterman jacket." And I was like, "Okay, thank God." But that's like the only thing I remember going to the principal's office for. But yeah, his daughter played soccer on the girls' team, and I was on the boys' team. And
did you smash?
no, she was actually pretty cute, but we did not. She was a mutual friend, but and for some reason they kept forgetting that I already had like 2 Letterman jackets before that, so I had 4 Letterman jackets. I had one 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th. I don't know what the fuck my school was doing.
You were so cool.
No, it wasn't. I didn't even like them. I never wore them.
Did you use one of those Letterman jackets as like a sling that you put rocks in and you could fling them through windows?
No, they're still at my parents' house hanging up on. I've never used them, but yeah, that's like the only thing I did. Y'all are gonna give me shit for it. Like it's the only thing I did. That's like crazy.
Definitely getting shit.
If you kill a person once,
yeah, right.
It's like, come on, why do you guys keep telling me I murdered someone?
But I would say damage-wise, we probably did $2,000 worth of damage easy.
Jesus, dude.
Yeah.
And
Easy.
that's in back then money, like when you were.
Oh yeah, for
when
sure.
You were a wee lad.
A wee lad.
Inflation, that's like
A
20
billion.
grand.
Yeah.
But yeah, like
I would. We don't. There's no way. I would say like some people in. I live in Michigan. For people who don't know, like in D20, it looks like he might join the channel in a second. But he was talking about this the other day. He used to get the belt too. I know he was around like the same area you were in D4. But,
Yeah.
Like you could not. Like people may say that, hey Joel, I live up here, and you know we have that type of punishment in our family, but there's no way there were any schools in Michigan from like 90 on that had any type of paddling or anything. Like I know my parents talk about it, like they had it in the 60s and 70s, but there was definitely nothing like that. The worst thing I ever got in school was an in-school suspension for making an anti-Semitic joke when I didn't even really understand.
What was it?
How to be anti-Semitic. I would never repeat it because it was pretty bad. Like in retrospect, I
Okay.
can't believe
come on,
I said it.
man.
Shut up. I would just rather not repeat it.
I like it.
I would, yeah.
See, I told you they were pussy side.
I would not even be able to put it in a defensible context.
Come on, dude. This is locker room talk. Come on.
No one's gonna hear it, man.
Well, it was in
No one's
gym
gonna-
class. It was in gym class, so it was a rough one. But you know, it wasn't as bad as causing thousands of dollars worth of property damage to someone's property. But
I mean, the
it's
people
tough.
think that you're just gonna tell us after the podcast ends anyway.
Oh, I definitely will.
That reminds me of a little quick story. I'll tell it real quick. I'm nothing too crazy, but you talk about locker
I
room
have a
talk.
topic after.
Okay. When I was in 7th grade, you know, like it's in 7th grade for me was like the first year I began to like cuss a little bit. So I was like, you know, I would say,
I
yeah,
think that's the first time for everyone, like 6th and 7th.
yeah, I agree. So I was like, that motherfucker,
I
you know.
my parents let me watch South Park.
I did too. I watched South Park a little bit in 7th grade. I'll be honest, I did. But I said like motherfucker on the sly, you know, like bitch, you know, like under my breath.
Bitch.
Yeah, bitch, you fucking bitch.
Wait,
What?
did you really say that?
You said that.
Oh,
You
no,
said
but-
it. You said such things.
Dude,
But-
I got a really stupid. Wait, were you still telling your story? 'Cause
Yeah, I just want to say it real quick.
Okay, let me do my next.
Okay, cool. So I'm in the locker room. We're playing 7th grade basketball. Like I make the team. There's 20, 30. There's like 30 kids that all make 7th grade. Like I'm not very good at basketball, anyways. Like I'm like number 25 on the team out of 30 guys that are good. Like I keep having to try out every year just to fucking barely make the cut. But anyway, so our basketball coach surprises us and comes like to the locker room just to give an announcement, like "Hurry up, boys," kind of thing.
While
And
we're all
I'm-
naked, yeah. I think I've seen this
Hopping each
this
other with
video
towels.
before. Yeah.
But I'm walking out as he's walking in, and I'm talking to my friend as we're walking out, like I had my head turned. And I didn't see Coach coming in, and I said like, "That stupid motherfucker" or something like that, and he heard me, and my face turned pale white, like I was a goody two shoes, and he was like, "What did you say?" And I was like, he's like, "Come here,"
Motherfucker.
and pulls me out in the hallway, and I had to tell him the cuss word. He's like, "I'm gonna go call your mom." And I was like, "Oh shit, my mom's gonna be fucking pissed. She's gonna tell my dad, but that's gonna be with the belt." I'm fucking triggered.
She said, "Mind your damn."
But anyway, so he makes me. He's like, "Go stand by my office." So my office is on the way out towards the court. He's like, "Stand by my office." And so I stand there, and he like, all the kids go by. They have practice, and I'm like, he forgot about me. You fucking forgot about me. I'm standing here by the office. After practice, he comes by, and he walks in his office. And he's like, come in here. And he's like, we're going to call your mom. And so I thought about the whole damn practice. I'm fucking scared as shit what's going to happen. And he pulls me in. He's like, I'm not going to call your mom this time. You do it again next time, then I'm going to call your mom, and you're going to have to tell her what you said. And I'm like, I just freaked out the whole time. And the lesson there was basically I had to sit there and think about what I said and what I was going to have to tell my mom or explain to my dad and the ass whooping I was about to get. But anyways, I didn't get cut from the basketball team or anything crazy like that. But it was just a
basketball team for swearing.
Why not? My coach was a dick. He would.
Dude, I used to swear all the time during basketball. I would say that's bullshit to the ref and stuff like that.
Did you really?
I was pretty. I got teed up like 4 times my senior year.
game.
I was pretty, I was pretty
4 times a
emotional.
game. That's a big deal.
Yeah, 4 times a game. No,
What is teed up mean?
I just get pretty emotional.
Technical foul.
For like arguing or something.
You can get thrown out of the game.
I got ejected once, but it was because I got my second technical on a game. But the story I was going to say about swearing is I specifically, you know how you have like weird random memories of insignificant events?
Yeah.
I remember the first time I like really said a swear word in public. I was in the 6th grade. It was like one of the first days of the 6th grade. And I was with a friend in the bathroom, a male friend. And I was like,
Nice.
this is some good, this is some good dick.
I like where this is going.
Snapping each other with towels.
I'm zipping, boys. Let's get into this story. So I went to a Catholic elementary school, and then I went to a public middle school because my parents wanted to expose me to multiple different whatever. So
Popes, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, I was with my my Catholic school buddy. We were in the middle school bathroom together. We were first days of public school, and he was like, "Hey, Joel, you gonna be like a little more bad in middle school or something?" Because I was like, even amongst my friends, like I was friends with all like the athletes or the popular kids or whatever. But they were like, they would do kind of some bad stuff. I remember they like smoked cigarettes in elementary school and stuff like that, or a few of them did just to be cool.
Holy shit, man.
Well,
It's lit.
That's what happens when you make boys wear those short skirts.
Yeah, you gotta show your masculine somehow. But anyway, so I was like, yeah. And he's like, and we were both holding our dicks at the urinal and like standing next to each other talking. He's like, "You gonna start saying fuck?" And I said, "Fuck yeah." And it felt so good, dude. And he's like, "Yeah, Joel, you're getting cooler."
Oh my
This Joel
god.
guy is okay.
All right. And then I grabbed his dick and he grabbed mine, and we that
Old
didn't
dick
happen,
shake.
But yeah, I just remember that, and I wanted to mention it. But yeah, and then I was so cool, I got teed up and thrown out of basketball games sometime. It's not cool to get teed up and thrown out of basketball games. So my son did that, I'd say you're a moron, which is what my dad said. My dad said that to me a couple of times, but it's okay.
That's
Yeah,
funny.
I don't know what took you guys so long. 6th, 7th grade. Like I remember.
Were you a sailor?
Grade,
Second grade?
No. Just let me finish the story. I'm not that much of a savage.
This is why my
Okay.
parents didn't send me to public school.
Second grade was when we first started saying hey, like you can kiss my ass. Don't tell anybody. Don't tell anybody. And then after that eventually devolved into just ass, and then eventually we just but by the 3rd grade I was swearing probably as much as I do now. Not as open, obviously, because for whatever reason swearing is bad. But yeah, swear words have been a part of my vernacular for as long as I can remember.
Dude, I
don't
wish you could. Oh, sorry, shut up.
Oh, I'm gonna say I don't swear around my parents necessarily, just because I don't know. I feel like it's a respect thing.
We're allowed to swear around my parents now. Like once we turned 18, they were cool with all of us.
No,
we say fuck and stuff.
Yeah,
like
I was eating with Joel's parents, and everyone was cursing and talking about dicks and stuff.
We have a really open family. Like my parents became way cooler to me once I was an adult. Like when I was growing up, I felt like I had a closer relationship to my mother because I'm kind of a feminine boy. But when I became a man,
It's the skirts.
yeah, it's the skirts. when I became a masculine man, I feel like I have I obviously love my mother, but I can relate to my father a lot more now, and we have like a more open relationship, and we can swear and stuff. Oh, geez, Shadow.
You can
judge my relationship.
Open relationship with my dad. You can have other dads, but just your main dad.
Yeah.
You can.
I'm gonna try other dads.
Yeah.
Oh, no, like,
I wish you could put a fucking vine in the podcast, D4, because all this talk reminds me of one of my favorite vines about that. You know that little kid on the bus? I don't know if anyone else has seen this vine, but he like screams.
I know what you're talking about.
Excuse my potty mouth. And
Yeah.
then he turns around to some kid in the back of the bus. He's like, "Shut the fuck up."
Yeah, I saw a little nerdy kid too, like
Like a little
less than 100 pounds. Yeah.
That's all.
She's recording.
amazing, dude. I'll share that so we can watch it later. But it's a great vine. Rest in peace.
That's
I had a
funny.
topic I wanted to ask you guys. Did you guys ever get like in trouble in school? Like Joel said, he got ISS once. I had nothing like that. Like,
Nothing.
I've never gotten.
And school
got-
suspension.
Yeah.
I got in school suspension one time for tardiness senior year, which, I mean, come on.
It's expected.
Yeah, like, fuck that. And there was one time in first grade where I got detention because
Right.
it's the stupidest fucking reason. So, you know how, like, when you're sitting in school and, like, your foot starts itching inside your shoe?
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
it's like the worst thing ever. Well, I tried scratching it, and it wouldn't work. So just in the middle of class, I just started stamping my foot on the ground, like while the teacher's talking. I'm
Like you're
"Are you
having a
fucking
Tourette's
kidding me?"
episode.
Yeah, I was just stamping my foot on the ground. And then I looked up, and the teacher was looking at me like, "Fucking kidding me, bruh?"
What are you doing?
Trying to stop the yacht.
What are you doing?
I'm seeing you at recess for detention. I'm like, oh.
This is 12th grade. He still has recess with.
Oh, yeah.
No.
I actually got ISS twice. Now that I remember it because I got it again.
For what?
I got it again in. I'm trying to remember. I think this was because the first one was in 8th grade. And I think the second one was my sophomore year of high school. We had this gym class. Oh well, I mean obviously you have gym class at school, but we would do this basketball tournament, like 3-on-3 basketball tournament in the gym class, and the winner would get a prize, like a T-shirt or something dumb. But it was like the most competitive day. We would do it once a month, and it was always like really competitive. And they would switch up the teams. So this one month, I got on a team with another friend of mine who was on the basketball team. So I'd like won it before, but we were like really tearing through people because we were both on the basketball team and obviously playing other people that aren't necessarily on the basketball team. So we like won our semifinal game really easily, and the gym teacher had this dumb rule that you had to report the like it was like game battles, like you have to report your winnings within a certain amount of minutes, or otherwise you forfeit. And the other team wins. The process was, I can't remember, but I just remember like going to get a drink after the game and then walking up, and the gym teacher was like, "Oh, I already the other team already moved on. They reported that they won and you didn't," or something like that. And I said like that's bullshit, or like I flipped out. I had some type of emotional episode, and
You got
she
teed up
called
in gym
my-
class.
Yeah, I got teed up. Yeah, she made me go ride the bike. Like a bike with a fan on it, and I was like, I didn't really. It was very weird. And then she called my parents, and she told my dad about it. And my dad like really didn't care at all. But yeah, I had to write a book report, or not a book report, but I had to write like a 2-page paper on sportsmanship or something, and I like bullshitted my way through it. But 2 ISSs,
Like every paper in school.
a real thug.
Right.
Yeah. I just wanted to prove I was a real thug. Because I mean D4. Have you heard the story of D4 being a criminal D20? Because
Yeah,
I'm trying to like also show that I'm cool, and
D20
it's like
was
hard
part
to
of the
match
group.
it. Yeah, D20 is like
No,
this
I don't think D20 heard this. Basically in a shortened version, D20. Me and my cousin, when I was like 11, we walked up the road. This woman had like a treehouse for her grandkids, and we tore it to fucking pieces when she wasn't home. And we got into the insulation in there, and it itched to shit. Like we fucked up. It was probably $2,000 worth of damage. Went back home. She got home, came down to our house because we're the closest house. We lived like a half a mile away from each other. Dad pretty much beat me with a belt to the inch of my life, and then he didn't let me take a shower because we were all in the insulation and stuff. He just made me itch the whole time, and basically that's what happened. So the whole story was, did your parents believe in whipping you with the belt, or did they just like ground you, or did they take things away? What was your parents? What they do?
Well, mine. I mean, I definitely got whipped a lot, but like usually it was worse at my grandparents. Like if I got in trouble with my grandparents, my grandpa would make us go like pick out a switch off the tree outside and shit like that. But I remember one time that I got like in trouble at my grandparents and got a whipping. Then I went home and got a whipping. Like I went over to
Double trouble.
Like they
Yeah.
called ahead, like, hey, we got a
Yeah.
delivery coming for you.
yeah, I got in trouble twice. See, what happened was, I was, I guess it was like during the summer or something. And I was staying over at my grandma's sister. So I guess it's like my aunt. I don't know all the
Great aunt,
relations.
something
Anyway,
crazy, yeah.
great aunt, yeah.
Yeah.
So I was over, I guess, at her house, and then I guess what would be my cousins, her grandkids, were over there too. And like we were all pretty close. Like it was like a boy a year older than me, and then a girl a year younger than me. So I went over there and I was playing. You know, nothing happened. Everything was cool. And I got back to my grandparents' house. Like they came and picked me up, and I was at their house. And all of a sudden, like my grandma was on the phone, and then she called me in there, and then my grandpa was on the phone, and then he was like, I didn't even know why he was yelling at me about something. I was like, what the hell did I do? I don't even know what I did. So apparently my
Being dumb,
cousin
right?
or whatever, he said that I was flipping off his sister or whatever when we were over there. I don't know. I was probably like 4th grade, maybe younger than that. I don't even know. But like he said that I was flipping her off and like cussing at her or something like that, which I didn't do. I didn't even know what was going on. And so like my grandpa was like, go get a switch off the tree. So I had to go get a switch, and like the whole time I'm like, I didn't even do anything. I don't even know what it was. So I got a whipping, and then I went home and
Claiming
like
innocent, great strategy.
yeah. And then like, well, my mom and this kid's mom, like they were like best friends growing up because they were cousins or whatever. So they were like pretty much like sisters. So I got home, and then my mom was yelling at me, and then my dad got home from work, and I got a whipping from him for it. I was like, I don't even know what the fuck's going on. So, like, I really haven't even been like, never was friends with, like, we used to be close, like, and I've never really talked to him much at all. Yeah. I mean, I've talked to him, you know, here and there, like if I see him at stuff, like I'll talk to him or whatever. But like we were never really like close friends after that.
Fuck them.
I just,
Yeah.
it's like, what the fuck, man? Anyway. I got the shit
I'm
beat out
sorry,
of me
man.
because you wanted to tell some stupid ass story. You probably got in trouble for cussing and probably said it was me or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't
probably
even know the
something
whole story. I just know that I was apparently flipping off people.
Yeah. At least
whatever,
you weren't
and,
as
like-
bad as Deluxe.
No.
Fuck off, man.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that is going to be the end of the podcast today. We had really cool.
Already?
Yeah, I know, right? We've had some really good information shared with us tonight that I'm a criminal, and D20 has to go pick out a switch now. We're going to whoop his ass. But it was good overall. We talked about some anime. We talked a little bit about everything.
Yeah, you missed
that.
that D20.
Why don't you guys catch me up later?
Catch me outside. How about that? But anyways, we will see you guys next time. Remember, this is going to be on SoundCloud as well a week late. If you want to listen to last week's, we talked about some cool stuff and interesting things last week. It was Shadow and I. And also, there we are actually selling a T-shirt, Team Citrus T-shirt. If you want to check that out, links will be down below for that. Teespring.com/Team Citrus if you want to check that out as well. But other than that, we're good to go, guys. I appreciate you guys once again. Joel, Shadow, Side, and D20. We'll see you guys next week for another installation of the podcast. Peace out.